Countries.
Countries with large investments in Niger have strategic interest in taking one or another party to the conflict. For example, France's nuclear energy interests are vested in the stability of
Uranium.
uranium
Imports.
from the country. The AU world need to be aware of such interests and keep to the
Script.
of their own writing in the AU. Peace and Security Council
Protocol.
protocol and the African Charter on democracy, government and election.
Governance. Governance.
and election.
Okay. So Niger, remember, very poor. At the bottom of the UN list of countries in terms of development. Maybe the least developed country. Can we turn off that one? Yeah. Okay, so here, strategic, if this is Niger, where is the strategic location? You can say Morocco, right, control the outlet of Mediterranean Sea. Somalia control the Red Sea into the Gulf of Aden and then to the Indian Ocean. That's strategic. Niger, where is the strategic? Strategic. So where is the strategic interest here? Mr. Lin?
You talk about the uranium mine.
Okay, uranium. Is uranium strategic mineral? Yes? Okay. Very important, right? In terms of nuclear power. So France is famous for its nuclear energy. France doesn't have petroleum. So France has a great interest in Niger. But other than that, what else? Why France has another interest? In addition to uranium, what else? Why does not France have more interest in Nigeria? Nigeria. Why more interest in Niger than Nigeria?
Maybe because
Well, but Niger also has a lot of oil, right? So, but why France is more interested in Niger than Nigeria? Because Niger speak French, Nigeria speak English. That's it. Okay, colonial power. Okay, hey, that's my little baby before. Okay, maybe not as shiny as Ivory Coast, but still, France was there in Niger. So France is always important in Africa, right? Vested means rested or here in the stability of uranium import from the country. Of course, if you are dependent on nuclear power, you want to have a steady import of uranium. So AU need to be aware of this and keep the script. What do you mean by script? The night before, we have a Oscar. Oscar, they always give you the best screen play or the script. What is the script? 照着什么走？剧本走。What does that mean? 照着剧本走。I remember when I was a college student, I have a roommate, just across my dorm. And he said, if you want to date a girl, gosh, you need to be well prepared. I said, how? He said, you need to listen to classical music for 1 week. You need to read Chinese poems. And then you look so educated, and you can go out. So I followed the script. I don't even know what I was talking about. Okay? So that's a script, right? So what is the AU script? AU said African Union, right? they wrote it in the AU, charter here, African Charter on Democracy, Governance, and Election. Means we do not accept coup. Okay, here and also, in the writing of Peace and Security Council protocol. What do you mean by protocol? Agreement, but also protocol is very important in diplomacy. For example, in our government, we have a foreign ministry. Foreign ministry, you have all this desk, the desk of East Asian affair, East Asian and Pacific affairs, North American affairs, European affairs, 北美司、欧洲司、亚太司. But also there is a protocol. What is a protocol? Officer of protocol. You said some ritual, something we have to follow as diplomat. Certain rites, certain, do the certain ceremony, like if it's a vice president's visit, what kind of ceremony you can have. If it's a president's, what kind of reception you should have. What is this desk doing? 有没有听过礼宾师? Okay, that's protocol. Okay, protocol means 礼数. Okay, for example, China ignore the Western protocol, right? When our old emperor Qianlong said, "Oh, if you want to, show up in our palace, you have to, what? Prostrate it, bow down before me." The British said, "No, we don't bow. We just, shake hands, or we bow. We don't prostrate." 我们不是什么服体啊，不晓得什么拜。Okay, but that's what we call protocol. Different country, different places, right? Like I am learning the protocol right now of my son marrying a Korean girl. What is the protocol? What do we need to buy? What are some of the things you need to do? So that's what we call protocol. Okay, so protocol means the agreement, something, the rights, the procedure you have to follow. So in your writing, so AU, you have your own script, but you also have to remember the French. Okay, they probably have an interest here, and we don't know what they want. Okay, are they supporting the coup or are they not? So you need to be very careful. Okay, next one, 庄伟翔。有在吗？没有。吴东佑。哦，庄伟翔在。Okay, next, the last paragraph. Madagascar, Guinea, Mauritania, Zimbabwe, Sudan, Libya, coup plotter. Okay, so each case of the conflict have to be seen in context. What do you mean by in context? What do you mean by context? People say, oh, you have to understand the context of the situation. In literature, if we just say something like, Professor Yan said, you are so funny. Okay. But that's not too bad. But later he also said, you are so funny looking. Right? Then that's bad. Okay. Now, what is the context of saying something? In literature would be 上下文, but in other word, what would be a context? Background. Okay. 这个叫什么？背景。这个整个模拟的 不是什么 background. Okay, so you have to see each case is different. You have to understand all the situation there, and then test it against the fragile. What is fragile? Fragile is you, the new generation of the strawberry. Right? Yeah. Just like our post office box says, fragile, handle with care. 啊，叫什么？易碎，小心放置是吧？还是什么 ？Okay, you know, what's that principle? No. What is this new principle? Okay, weak principle. But what is this weak principle? Not the coup is not a principle. People, what is? Okay, it's what? What about the coup? The coup is not acceptable. That's the principle, right? We cannot accept the coup. But people say you have to look at the context. It means every coup is different, right? So every coup is different. So you have to look at the context, see how much you need to respond. But you have a fragile principle. It's almost like you're saying now, okay, after one setback here in Tsinghua, you said, I will not date another NTHU girl. Okay, so that's your principle, right? But, and then you saw someone else dating, it's a different context. Maybe, she's a transfer, from another university. So every context is different, okay? So it has to be, you have a principle, but every context is different. So you need to be very careful. Why? What happened in Madagascar here, right, a year ago, and then Guinea a year and a half ago here, Guinea, and then Mauritania here, and Niger. Okay, in the future, can inform, may tell you how the new African leader will do take their position on what? Zimbabwe here, right? Zimbabwe, Sudan, and Libya. Okay, so question here, Ms. Strong, what is the problem? We have coup here, these 4 countries, but what's the problem with Zimbabwe, Sudan, and Libya? First of all, it says they have coup plotters. What is coup plotter? You are plotting a coup. What is a plot? Oh, plot 是剧情. What is a plot? Plot means you are planning to do something. Okay, so plotters means you are planning to stage a coup. Now, those people who try to have a coup, maybe in Zimbabwe, maybe in Sudan, maybe in Libya, will learn from how you respond to those before. Now, so my question is, why would people have coup in Zimbabwe? Why?
It's been like 25 years since the guy is in power.
No, 30.
30.
Yeah, just 30. Just turned 30 years. Okay, Robert Mugabe, right? Old soldier don't die. They just pass away. Or old politician just won't step down until he entered the grave. Okay, so that's him. So people would say, this guy is bad. He should be removed. Now, if everybody thinks this is a good idea, then the coup plotter would say, we are doing a good thing. But if everywhere else is being condemned, then they would probably say, let the guy just die, right? Instead of setting a precedent, you understand precedent, P-R-E-C-E-D-E-N-T, 先例, huh? Because never happened in Zimbabwe before, military coup. But what happened? This guy just won't go, right? Sudan, that's pretty bad as well. The guy has been in power for 20 years, and a lot of problem with Southern Sudan, with Darfur. hey, the president, the first president in Sudan, okay, it's the first president being wanted by International Criminal Court. 现在是悬赏通缉。Don't you think, people in Sudan should turn him in? Or the military will say, we are doing the international society a favor by having a coup. So Sudan is another country. Libya, Gaddafi has been powerful for 40 years. Maybe he has lost touch, we call, with people. So those are the reasons you have to take consideration. So before we move up, we look at some of the problem of the coup. Oh, God. Okay. Last week, we mentioned a lot of the different key. Anarchy means what? No government, okay? No system of government there at all. That's an anarchy, right? And then monarchy, you understand, by a king. Polyarchy, that's a special term for political scientists. They said it's a government by a lot of people, okay? By more people. So that's almost like democracy, but it's like more people are controlling the government, not just a few elite. Okay, not like in countries like Gabon, countries like Togo, one family control for 30, 40 years. Polyarchy will be, you go to a country, any family, any person can rise to power. So not a few elitists are controlling. That's polyarchy. So it's a system of rule. And we also talk about, different kinds of government as well. We have aristocracy. You understand aristocracy. That's not a big problem. Autocracy. Okay, that's why Niger has been called autocracy now. When a single person is dominating, autocrat, okay, becoming more. And then democracy, we understand. Okay, next one, gerontocracy, Wu Bingyou. Okay, what is gerontocracy? It's not anymore. Used to be in countries like Japan, in countries like China, we find a lot of this gerontocracy. Do you know what is it? No, that would be what? Monarchy, right? Japan and China, okay? What's the Japanese? Japan is a democracy, but in the past, Japan has this characteristics of having politician becoming prime minister in their 70s. And China used to have a lot of old leaders, right? Soviet Union used to have old leaders. So what is gerontocracy? Old men, no, 我们的大佬 ，OK， 大佬政治，元老啊。In Japan, there is a word. What is that word in Japan? Genno. 元老。Genno. And, okay, the next word is very important. You only find that word in studying African politics. Okay, Niger can be one. What is kleptocracy? Kleptocracy means there is a government of corruption, stealing. Klept means stealing. You go into politics just to profit yourself. Taiwan, I think for a while, we are kind of like characterized by greed and corruption, 贪腐. Okay, that's 贪腐政治, kleptocracy. Okay, so remember, just next time, in order to impress your girlfriend, say, I believe Taiwan is, becoming more like a kleptocracy now. Wow, so deep. 好有深度哦。好，下次约会前约礼拜2晚上约会，上完严老师课，学几个单字 kleptocracy. Okay. So that's the one. Meritocracy. I think this one is easy. 蔡坤达. Yeah, what is it? Merit. Based on merit. You are not, you are moving ahead because you are doing good thing in a government based on merit, based on what you have done, you have achieved. 应该算是什么？绩效政治。绩效不好听吧？能是吧？不是，差不多就是那个意思。OK. Meritocracy, okay, is based on individuals' ability or achievement. Not like in Taiwan's military, all the general, having their stars. And those stars can be bought, right? You need to climb up. I think we have meritocracy somewhat in our academic circle. You're moving from assistant professor to associate professor. Hey, based on what? Nowadays, everybody will go to your website saying, this guy is a full professor. Look, this is his publication. So it doesn't, I call it, reflect your true ability. That's not good. Okay, if you have very little publication, you better stay as an associate professor. Otherwise, people will wonder, how did you get up there? Maybe through other means. So that's what we call meritocracy. Last week also talked about mobocracy, right? Mobocracy means the mobs are in charge. For a while in French Revolution, what else can we find an example? Wang Yikai. Yeah, can we find another example of mobocracy? How about 1966 through 1976? We call it the Cultural Revolution. 文革, 红卫兵, I think that's mobocracy. During that time, I will be the target of what we call struggle by you, by the students. Right? 学生都要斗老师嘛，清算. Right? I have to put a dunce cap. 游行. I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist roader. Never heard of this roader. R-O-A-D-E-R. 路线者，资本主义路线。Capitalist roader. Okay. 走资派. All right. Okay, so that's mobocracy. Okay. Now, we also talked about plutocracy last week. 蔡泽明, 陈义军. What is plutocracy? I think we talk about this. People say 冥王星在统治了. Pluto 是冥王星啊. What is plutocracy? Controlled by few rich families. Okay, which country is like that before? I'll give you one example. El Salvador. El Salvador, for a long time have been controlled by 14 families. You say, hey, that's democracy. 14, not just one, right? But still, that's a lot. If it's Sao Tome, that's different because Sao Tome's population is 140,000. 14万人，如果14个家庭 I think that's okay, right? But El Salvador, 6 million people. That's a lot. 14 family, that's, plutocracy. In Taiwan, are we being controlled by Formosa plastics or other rich families? Few rich families. They make money, whoever is in government. Blue or green, they're all good. Is that true in Taiwan? Do we have plutocracy? Niger doesn't have this problem because they don't have rich people. Okay? So, plutocracy, few rich people, right? Wang Jianyuan. Yeah, this word, theocracy, we have one in the third world, one time. What is theo? T-H-E-O? Theology, theocracy. Do you know the word theocracy? Theology? Theology seminary. 神学院. So, theocracy, what is it? 神权政治. Can you give me an example? 教廷, okay. But 教廷 doesn't pretend to be another country, right? What is a normal country that the priest, the church, the religious leaders dominate? Way back, I think you can go back to the pharaohs of Egypt. Or more recently, in Iran, in the 1980s. Okay, the Ayatollah Khomeini, still powerful today. Okay, so that's what we call theocracy. We don't have that problem, but some of the older countries have. Now, democracy. What is democracy? People say, oh, is it Timor, East Timor? No, it's not. Okay, Zhang Shuzhen. Yeah, make a guess. Two kinds of democracy. Do you know Plato? Plato. Who is Plato? Who is Plato? P-L-A, like you and your boyfriend having a platonic love. 柏拉图式的爱. Okay, so Plato. Plato is a Greek philosopher, right? His definition of democracy is that, positions of government should be based on honor, especially military achievement, glory. If you've done well, So a little bit like meritocracy, but more like the honor. People can see the honor and the military glory. But Plato also has a student. Who is his student? Aristotle. Oh, I thought Aristotle is a dog. No? 亚里士多德不是狗啊？不是个卡通的狗吗？那是他取名的。Okay, but is that dog very philosophic? 很有哲理吗？那只狗？没有猜。Okay, but anyway, Aristotle, you know that 亚里士多德 right? Okay, his definition is that civic honor. Okay, means you have done something good. Especially in a way he is looking at political power should be based on landed property. What is landed property? Okay, remember, this is a very important idea. Landed property. L-A-N-D-E-D, land. Landed. You understand land. You understand property. So what is landed property? 中文怎么讲？土地财产，这叫什么？不是土地财产，还有更好名词。There is a better term. 不动产 ，OK， 不动产。Now, don't you think a democracy should be someone who participate that having landed property? If you don't have any property, you're not very responsible. So they think only those people should be involved in a government. This happened in the United States at the beginning. If you don't have property, you cannot vote. Because, hey, what happened if we don't, like right now, if we allow people to vote, saying, let's divide it, 仁爱路那个豪宅叫什么？地堡 right? So, those people, we don't have any property. They said, let's divide it. And the overwhelming majority say yes. So what happened? Right? Do you understand? Landed property means you're more careful because you live in a glass house. What do? You don't throw a stone, a rock at someone else. So that's the idea of democracy. Okay? Propertied class should be vote. Property. Okay. So those are the one. And then, what happened? Okay. So Niger's coup, people said Tanja has become an absolutist or an autocrat or despot or dictator or tyrant. It's all the same thing. Absolute means someone having absolute power, right? Autocrat, he himself is not listening to the others. One person is involved. And despot, the same thing. Okay. 独裁的 dictator, tyrant, 暴君. So these are all the similar words. Okay, now military coup. So we have few here. 郭登峰. Come up. So we have Argentina. Show us Argentina. Map. With military coup. Where is Argentina? Yeah, okay, here, come on, more. Next one, Bolivia. Okay, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay. You need more? Okay, Peru, Uruguay. Okay, so you see, most of we call, what do we call these countries here? We call southern cone, like ice cream cone. 就像这叫什么？冰淇淋的那个甜筒像不像甜筒？ On top, you cannot have military coup. Only those at the bottom, like everyone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So these are all the countries having military coup, and also they are the one more likely to qualify for World Cup. So is that related? You have to have military coup in order to qualify for World Cup. Good soccer team means good soldiers intervening in politics. Okay. Now, this happened in the 1960s and 70s a lot. Look at Bolivia. Bolivia loved to have military coup. Brazil, 64, but all the way stay until 85. Argentina from 66 to 73, and then 3 years of civilian, boom, back to 76, military coup until 83. Chile, from 73 until 89, military coup, military government. Paraguay, from 54 to 89, military leader, coup. And then 89, he was overthrown. Peru, from 68 to 80, military coup. Uruguay, from 73 to 83. So suddenly, in 1960s and 70s, military coup is very popular. This is in South America, right? But look at Africa. Oh, we love African country. They keep military coup alive. Okay, so Yan Ziqing, yeah, show us some countries here. Okay, Algeria, Benin, and Burkina Faso. Okay, so look at Algeria. It's a Muslim country. You would think Muslim country don't have military coup because their religious leader is strong. Wrong. Okay, Iraq had military coup. Okay, Egypt has military coup. Algeria as well. Okay, Benin. Oh, look at how frequent in the 60s and 70s, right? 6 times. Now it's a good democracy. Burkina Faso. I told you before about how the military leader in 87 celebrating 20 years anniversary of military coup. Okay, so again 6 times. This is in West Africa and North Africa. Zhou Minghan. Yeah. Show us Burundi, Central African Republic. Where is Burundi? Burundi is east of Democratic Republic of Congo. Do you know Democratic Republic of Congo? Congo. That's Congo, but Burundi, east of Congo. Okay, Central African Republic, Central African. Yeah, okay. So they also have military coup. Xiao Naixing. Yeah. Please. Just want to get you familiar with this. Okay. We have more African country for you. Okay. Chad, Comoros, and Congo Republic. Okay, I'll give you 3 each. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Chad. Where is Chad? And Comoros. Okay, Congo, Republic of Congo. And also Comoros. Do we have Comoros? Yeah, we have. Just want to make sure. Okay, Comoros is not on the African continent. Would I help you? What does that mean? Not on the continent. Okay. Next one. Ling Luofan. Yeah. Okay. Another Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo. And Côte d'Ivoire, and Egypt, okay? Democratic Republic of Congo. Côte d'Ivoire. Okay. Oh, look at Côte d'Ivoire. It's 1999 and 2001. It's like, wow, we haven't done that before. We have missed something in the first 40 years. Let's make up. 赶一下进度 too. Okay. So, Egypt, right? Wow, they just love it. 张宇泉. Okay. Why don't you try 4? Okay. Equatorial Guinea. Equator. What is equator? I think it's 0. Just try to find 0. Where is 0? This is 20. This is 10. And I think this is 0. Okay. Okay, so here. This one is Sao Tome. No. This says Sao Tome and Principe. This one, Gabon, Congo, Uganda, Kenya. Not here, but what about something close? Okay, you can do Ethiopia first. Where is Ethiopia? Oh, where is Gabon? Okay, where is it? Equatorial Guinea? Equator? A 0 is here. 正负2度 C 是吧? No, I'm just saying, up and down a little bit. Up and down a little bit. Ladies, here. Okay. 缩写 equal EQU and then Guinea. Okay. So that's 3. You have 4. Fourth one, Gambia. Okay. Gambia is in West Africa. Okay, that's Gambia. Okay, being surrounded by Senegal. Okay, next one. Guo Junyi. Yeah. This 3. Isn't it lucky? Look, Equatorial Guinea, you have Coup. Guinea, you have Coup. Guinea-Bissau, you have Coup. So you named your country Guinea, then you have Coup. Okay? So Ghana, Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. Where is Ghana? West Africa. They're all West Africa. That's what is that country? Okay, Guinea-Bissau. Okay. And then Guinea. Where is Guinea? Ghana. Okay, where is Guinea? Guinea and Guinea-Bissau are neighbors. Okay, so, a lot, okay. Next one. Wow, they just love. Wow. I'm running out of the blue color, huh? Gosh. 单主文. You have 3. Lesotho, Liberia, and Libya. Okay. You take good use of this, okay? Means the big one go to the big country. Libya. Lesotho. Lesotho is doing the region a favor, saying, look, our region has been left out. We need a representative here. Which region is not being covered?
It's only the south, the south so far.
Yeah. So you get a representative from the south.
Only Soto here is.
Okay. Next one, Ong Yingzi. Yeah. Okay, I'm running out of the blue one, so use the black one. Madagascar, Mali, and Mauritania. Mali. Okay. Wow, we have more. Ooh. Ah, they just love it. Wang Boxian. Huang Yixiang. Yeah. Niger, Nigeria, Rwanda, Rwanda and Burundi, they have the Hutu and the Tutsi. Do you remember we mentioned about Burundi, east of Congo? North of Burundi. Hey, that's west of Congo.
East of Congo. Where is Burundi? Oh, yes, yes.
Okay, Rwanda, Burundi. Okay. Then we have one few more, right? Liu Yuxuan. Okay. Sao Tome and Principe and Seychelles. They are not on African continent. Okay, Seychelles, Sao Tome and Principe. Do we still have more? Oh, yeah, we still have. Gosh. Su Xinghe. So, Sierra Leone, Somalia, and Sudan. Where is Sierra Leone? West Africa. Sierra Leone is like, how can you miss me? You know, every other country is in my neighbor have military coup, right? Okay, Somalia. Somalia is Taiwan's Hsinchu. Okay, Sudan. Okay, finally we have Jian Yingzhe. Two more, Togo and Uganda. So we will know so many military coups. Uganda, where is Uganda? Okay, where is Togo? Again, being surrounded by other countries with coup. Okay, I think something wrong here, right? We should not use this one for Benin. We should just find a little one for Benin. This is Niger. Okay. And how about this? This look good. Big one here. Right? Ethiopia should be bigger. Okay, so you can see this. In those graphs, what do we call this? Spirals? 就是那种 outside the, you know, 就是你要画那个什么统计图，全部在这样子一个 right? So this one is not correct. Okay, so you understand there are so many military coups. So how many countries here? Can we count? $34. How many countries in Africa? No. How many? Altogether, 53. So about close to 2/3 have military coup. Okay, at least majority experience military coup. So Niger is not exception. Okay, that's first thing. It's not an exception. Secondly, if you look at all this, they are doing well, right? In terms of every decade from the, okay, if I can go back, actually, do I have this? Sudan? Okay. Egypt, right? We start with Egypt, 1950s, and then boom, 1960, a lot. Look at Congo, look at Togo here, all the 1960, Nigeria. So 70, 80, 90s, 2000, and the new decade we have, 2010, already, right? We have Niger, promising that we will have coup in every decade. You know, some of this, I feel bad about this country. Burundi, I think. Look, Burundi had a good batting streak. 打击率不错. 66, 76, 87, 99, and then they have a drought right now. 差不多 every 10 years they need to have one. And now it's over 4 years. So they're not going to have one in the 2000. They missed that one. 就是打击率中断，不是他们这样，对吧？多少支安打连续几场 ？Okay. I think they having problem. So this is military coup in Africa. And if we look at the African coup, and then I think we want to ask, why military wanted to go in politics? These are some of the explanation. Okay. First one, people said military believe with their own training and everything, they are the modernizer. You know, They have access to the newest weapons. That's technology. And they think they are the sector in the society in touch with the outside world, with the newest technology. So they want to modernize the country. Politicians are playing, backdoor politics. They are not going to help to modernize the country. So that's the first reason. They're disciplined, they're training. Look at, even their uniform is with lines, everything, right? They look like being very modern. Don't you think in the third world, when people wear uniform appear in the village, they probably symbolize modernization. Okay? Second one, they want to be the arbitrator in the society. What do you mean by arbitrator? Means, yeah, there are different interests, different groups, and military probably say, okay, in the interest of the countries, I will try to mediate, okay? I will try to make the decision what will be the best, because everyone else is for his own self-interest, okay? So arbitrator. Mediator, military feel that they can be above the local interest, conflicts. They are, above we call above the fray, F-R-A-Y, means they can be neutral, N-E-U-T-R-A-L, They can be neutral and they can be objective. Okay. They are not going to be focusing on local interests. So mediator, our state builder, okay, nation building, especially if you think countries in Africa, countries like Niger, they don't have a strong identity. So they believe they are the one who can build this new country. Stabilizer, okay. Whenever, like Nigeria right now, okay, if you follow the news, Nigeria always violence, killing. In Taiwan, people said, we don't report Nigerians' deaths. I said, why? He said, look, Nigeria has 130 million people, right? 1亿3千万人. So what happens if they die? 100. Proportionally, that's very small, right? But in Taiwan, we have 20. So it's almost like, its population is 6 times of Taiwan's population. So it's like a dozen people die in Taiwan. Okay? But look, Americans have more people than Taiwan. One single American died in Israel. Big news, right? So it's almost like Americans' life worth more than us, and we worth more than Indians and then Nigerian. That's not fair. But Nigeria has a lot of violent death, and so some people will say, "Wow, the society is in chaos." And military said, "We have guns. We provide order, stabilize." Okay, and then peace. Sometimes we have sectarian violence. So military come in. And they also believe they are the protector of the country. So they have this mission sometimes. They believe they are the one to protect the country from total collapse. Otherwise, if you left politics to the corrupted civilian politician in the form of what? Greed and corruption. What do we have that form? Remember that word. You're going to use that for your date tonight. Kleptocracy. Kleptocracy. Then the military said, no, we provide some kind of meritocracy. We move up by our performance. So that's the reason military intervene. Okay? So you understand the background, and then we have to look at the question of whether military coup is good or bad. So we go back to our article about Niger's coup. Is it a good coup or not? 胡荣华，你在吗？啊，王大中，有在吗？都没有啊。刘佑瑞，俊还是瑞 ？OK， 刘佑瑞。Oh, let's take a break. Gosh, is that that's the right clock? Okay, now let's take a break first. See, let's take a look. Oh, 等一下，这个在哪里啊？你没有看到 mouse 了吗？出现了吗？哦，出现了哦。Okay. Okay. Am I right? Okay, start.
Most people in Niger's capital, Niamey, seem to regard the military coup as an opportunity, not a disaster.
Continue.
We have had coup before, and usually not many people die. So for us, the military coup is not so traumatic as it might be somewhere else. Say Mohammed Bazoum, deputy president of the opposition PNDS Taraya party.
Okay, so here, a coup, people say, oh, that's a disaster, right? You heard of coup, 军事政变. Oh, must be killing. Yeah, some country did, right? I mentioned to you about Liberia, former president has been executed on the beach and videotaped and broadcast. That's bad, okay? But this one saying, well, it's a good opportunity, instead of a disaster. So they said, oh, we had before, like, it's a little bit like in Taiwan, earthquake. It's a good time to release all those, right? Tremors. 如果说台湾有地震，说哇，这个很好，释放能量，好事。No more. We had experience. We had coup before, and usually not many people die, right? So that's it's like Thailand. Thailand, people are so used to coup because coup is such a peaceful thing. Right? So that's Niger as well. For us, it's not so traumatic. What is traumatic? Not just disaster, mentally feeling bad. Like, especially like, you have a problem with your relationship sometimes, or your folks pass away, or you have some kind of traumatic experience. I have to say, my life, I have not experienced a lot of trauma. The one had really let me feel something was being a translator for a homicide. That's it. Okay, that's my traumatic experience. My wife had a traumatic experience of, as a high school student, going with friends, classmates, to the creeks of Taiwan, and then suddenly the flood come in, and one of the girl just swollen by the water and died, and she was the one to identify the body. So that's what we call traumatic experience. Okay, so you understand trauma. Trauma is really something mentally. So here, as it might be somewhere else, like like Liberia, that would be very bad. Or like, how about Guinea-Bissau in 2008? The president who came to power before, a long time ago, from a military coup was killed. Okay, so that's traumatic. But this one, just arrested, just put him on house arrest. What do you mean by house arrest? 软禁, but this one is not really house arrest. This one just placing somewhere else. 有点点像抓流浪狗。然后现在说请人来认养。Can we find a country that is willing to take our former president? 可不可以找一个国家来认养我们这个前任总统？Because we want to send him exile, right? Hey, it's not difficult. Sometimes it's difficult. 丹祖文, where is your former president?
He's in South Africa.
South Africa. Remember, he was somewhere else in Central African Republic, just trying to find a place for Haitian's former president in Africa. So finally, some countries said, yes, we'll take him, and then that's fine. So the same thing with Niger right now. They are finding Tanja a place. One time they said, oh, Morocco will be a good one. Everybody loves Morocco, the beautiful beach. From Niger, that's an upgrade, huh? That's an upgrade. I'd rather be exiled from Niger to Morocco. But this is where it's not so traumatic. And so this is the opposition deputy president. What is deputy president? Not acting, vice. So sometimes people will talk about deputy as vice president, vice something. So in an organization, you would say, hey, deputy means 副座. Okay, deputy sheriff, 副警长. Usually it's a drunk. In a Western movie, I don't know why. They always give this 副警长, it's a drunk, it's a 醉汉当副警长. I don't know why. But deputy can also be representative. 这是代表. 这个民意代表 deputy. Okay, so that's deputy. Next one. 许同利. Okay.
Niger cannot survive without international aid. Mohammed also PNDS Haraya. The last time Niger's military staged a coup was in 1999. When the
Push.
heralded a short transition before elections, Nigerians hope this coup will lead.
Oh, it's not Nigerian. Nigerian. Or Nigerian. Nigerian.
Hope this coup will lead toward elections as well.
Continue.
We're proud of what the soldiers have done, and we expect them to manage a clean, honest transition. Because the soldiers who have taken over are not eager and ambitious, they don't want power, said a man in Miami main market who did not want to be named.
Okay, now, stage a coup. That's the verb you use. Okay, you stage a coup. Why stage? What do you mean by stage? In a play, a stage. Drama, you went to see the play on a stage. So what do you mean by stage a coup? A coup. Carry out or plan, right? Well planned. First of all, coup had two elements. One is usually it's well planned. Okay? Look at even our Sun Yat-sen planned the revolution 10 times. All failed. But still he planned, I think. Okay, what's the second element of coup? Has to be surprise. Okay. You cannot tell the president, say, hey, we are planning a coup. Okay, right? You have to come with a surprise. So military coup, like stage something, plan something, then surprise. Okay, that one was in 1999. So the word push means surprise kind of coup. Okay, but every coup is a surprise. So, and that kind of surprise heralded. What do you mean herald? There is a newspaper called International Herald Tribune. What is a herald? Hark the herald sing. Have you heard of that Christmas carol? Hark the herald angel sing. Yeah, hark the herald. Something. Okay, 什么天使欢丹主文怎么唱 ？Hark the Okay. Anyway, this is 先锋. Okay, means pioneer or open up a short transition, right, before election. And then the Nigerian hope that this time they will also lead to the election as well. So they want to see the same thing happen like 10 years ago in 1999. Wow. Okay, what's wrong with this sentence? Huh? What's wrong with this paragraph, Ms. Xu? What's wrong with this paragraph here? No. See, we are proud of the soldiers. Oh, they're good. They are not honest. They are not eager. And they don't want power. And then say, oh, I don't want to be named. I thought you were praising the soldiers, right? You're not criticizing the soldiers. Why? You say, oh, I don't want to be named. Well, in the market? I'm not sure. Okay, I don't think he's a soldier. But I thought he said all the nice things and then worry about being known. That's strange. So now, how many soldiers who stage a coup do not want power? No, I don't want power. Power corrupts. Absolute power, absolute corruption. So I don't think we can believe that. Okay, clean, honest transition. This is like what's the Chinese proverb for this? It's like the sun rises in the west, from the west. 太阳从西边升起. Okay. So I don't think we can trust that. 蔡伟玲有在吗? Okay, next. Have faith. Okay, I don't have faith, but maybe you can have faith. Coup d'etat. Continue. Okay, so here, first word. What is Advent? A-D-V-E-N-T. The coming, okay, the arrival of a military, the coming of a military coup. It's the fall, okay? It's caused by the politician, not the soldier. No, we're so reluctant. It's like American. American call themselves what? Reluctant sheriff. We don't want to come out and maintain order in the international society, but, it's just the demand from the world. We have to do it, It's a dirty job, but someone has to do it, right? So reluctant sheriff. Okay, here we have reluctant soldier. No, we don't want to stage a military coup, but the politicians are so bad, so corrupt. So they said, it's the fault of the politician, not the soldiers. And look, regrettable that we have, coup, but hey, the politician failed us. So I'm glad that they step in, right? So 去想一想，眈石湖江，以迎王师，是念眈石吧？念得对吗？Where is it from? From which book? 左传，你们就乱猜啊。江这样子写的。Okay, from which book? "孟子" Mencius. Okay. So here we have the Nigerian soldiers, like Wang Shi. People welcome them. Okay, but they also said many coups in West Africa started out saying, "Oh, we're going to promise a return," but do not always go smoothly. Example, Côte d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, 8 years, still waiting for that election. Okay, next one, 正方，在吗？举手一下好吗？有在吗？没有。张立行，这样。MNSD. Okay, so here in Niger, most people, army stick to its word. What do you mean by stick? Sticky. What is sticky? You know, 胶, stick. Stick means 黏. What does that mean? Means I will keep my words. Okay, I will keep my words. So they will, keep their promise, including those in the government that was ousted. Those people who were ousted. What is ousted? Being forced out. Okay, they still believe the military probably will keep the words. Okay, so at this stage we have to have faith. Okay, in what the army said, and we think they are men of their words. Oh, that's again, military people believe they always will, carry out their promises. 言什么？言而有信是吧？ Okay, that's what they think. Okay, and then they will say the politician always trick us. They don't keep their promises. Like one of our politicians said he would not run for Taipei's mayor, and then eventually he even became president, right? So those are the, they would say. But this guy, the spokesman of the party of the deposed, what is deposed? Deposed means being driven out, okay, of the, Mamadou Tanja's parties, the spokesman of the party. Oh, I love his name. His name is almost like tempura is 舒服. 甜不辣很舒服，是舒服的啊。Tempura is 舒服啊。Okay, that's his name. Okay, our foreign student, do you know what is tempura? Tempura, 甜不辣，甜不辣 ，sweet but not spicy. Have you been to? You should been to some of the 7-Eleven. They have some, and they have some stores for tempura. Tempura, that's Japanese stuff. Tempura. Do you know tempura? Okay. 天妇罗. Okay, 天妇罗. Okay, but anyway, his party may be allowed, and this is good because in Gambia. In 1994, military step in, and then they have an election in 1996. But the former president's party, you say, you have been in power for 30 years. You're so corrupt. You cannot run for the election. Okay, so this one is very open-minded. Saying, yeah, MNSD, fine. You can run for election. No problem here. 王思琪 有吗？王世奇有在吗？没有。陈庭瑜 ，OK。Bazoum。 Okay, so adamant. What is adamant? Means a very passionate, very strong feeling, have a strong feeling that they want President Tanja not just being removed, but also barred. What is bar? Be barred. You can put two ways. Bar means prevent him from running again, participating in election. You have been barred from doing something, like you are being banned, right? But also bar means jail, right? Behind the bar. So either way, okay? But also try. I think this is bar from running or bar from intervening in politics. But also try for high treason. Now, what did he do to deserve treason? Ms. Chen, do you understand treason? 叛乱罪. Now, what did Tanja do? Tanja said, I'm going to sell Niger to another country, to France. Is that the reason? He just said, I just want to stay for a few more years. Is that treason, high treason? Treason, betraying what? Betraying law, betraying the Constitution. Also changed. So that's why they want high treason. 叛国罪. 严重叛国罪. Now, but Mr. Bazoum, more forthright reason to believe that army will keep or return the power to civilian. Forthright means straight, okay, reasons. Saying, hey, Niger is a poor country. They depend on international aid. And if you do not return power to the civilian, then the sanction. What do we mean by, Ms. Chen, what is sanction? Some sanction is almost like a boycott, right? Someone will say, as long as you do not improve your democracy, then we will not provide you with aid. We will not import your uranium. You depend on uranium for your economic survival. We will not import. So that's what we call 制裁, sanction. So already Tanja changed the constitution, sanction being imposed. Now you have military coup, the sanction remain and will not be lifted until you have civilian in control. So that's why he said, well, I think they will return to power. And remember, Niger is so poor, it depends on aid. Like, where is the economy? 40% come from international aid. Okay, so that's an important factor in the political landscape of Niger. Huang Yixian. Yeah, next. Crumbling. Tom. Okay, had to rely, it's uranium. We mentioned about for foreign revenue. Okay, that's the major source of revenue, it's uranium. And uranium has been vulnerable to price fluctuation. What do you mean by price fluctuation? Just up and down. Can you give me something else recently going up and down, up and down? Oil and gold. How about gold? So, for example, Nigeria said, oh, I'm an oil-producing country. My revenue is based on oil. And the price of the oil per barrel let's say right now it's what, 70 some, 80 some dollar, right? Okay, last year, one time it went up to where? 140, right? Okay, so if you're Nigeria, how do you base your revenue? Projecting your oil base on $100 per barrel. You say, hey, I'm being conservative. Look, it was up to 140. But then suddenly it's down to 70 or 80, and you don't have enough money. Okay, because that's how you base. So fluctuation, we call commodity a lot of time. Minerals like copper is one, suffer, fluctuation. Oil, even gold, or some of those we call cash crops, coffee, sugar, cocoa, those can go up and down. Okay, 中文叫期货嘛，这些这种经济作物。So those are fluctuation and vulnerable. What do you mean by vulnerable? Yeah, fragile. Okay, easily get hurt. So for example, someone said, oh, I just broke up with my boyfriend. I'm vulnerable right now. Don't date me, because I'm easily going to get. So that's vulnerable, okay? That's how people would say vulnerable. Or, for example, right now, if you have basketball teams, like, what's that team called? Portland Trail Blazer. Somewhere there is a curse about the center of trailblazers. All the centers have we call feet of clay. 他们的这个脚都是泥做的。Okay, somehow just collapse, injured. So if you have teams like Lakers right now have twin towers, right? Paul Gasol and Bynum, and then we will say Portland defense is especially vulnerable in the middle because they don't have a big guy. So vulnerable, easily get hurt, being taken advantage. Okay, so that's vulnerable. By price fluctuation, price fluctuation right now going up. So 8 is very important. In the past, unpaid salaries. Okay, this is not something happen in our society a lot. We might have factories, we might have private company not paying you salary for a few months. But even that is very rare. But in Africa, you work for the government. As a teacher in school, sometimes you don't get paid for a few months. Okay, soldiers don't get paid for a few months. You don't even know how to survive. So that unpaid salaries, tensions ended in coup. In Niger, international isolation caused by Tanja's changing state constitution of staying power. That's the biggest threat. Niger cannot be isolated because they depend on international aid. If the international aid doesn't come, then your problem. Look at it sits at the bottom, okay, of the HDI, Human Development Index, and face food insecurity. But one time, okay, this is from Niger. I have to tell you this one because Niger's president accused international organization for creating a myth of food shortage in Niger. Because he said, no, we are doing fine. The reason they keep saying we have a food shortage is they can have a job to do. All those people who work for non-governmental organizations, they say, oh, there's a food shortage. There will be a famine. Famine? F-A-M-I-N, 饥荒 in Niger. So suddenly, all those volunteers, they have a good job. They go to there to distribute something. And sometimes it's not good to distribute food because if people can get food for free, why would they grow? So you will have a constant vicious cycle of food shortage. And sometimes Americans will bring in what kind of grain we call, gene has been changed. What is the word? Yeah, modified. Okay, modified gene I asked the question, I said, what's wrong with those? You just eat it. But they said, what happened is if some of the seed drop in the food, they will destroy the local crop. Okay? So those are some of the big problems in Niger. Finally, 林毅. Yeah. Okay, continue. 请你等一下再打来。
million people, or a fifth of the population, were facing food shortages because of poor rains. There is no need to look for
statistics
to appreciate how poor Niger is.
Okay, a desert nation. I don't think we have any question with that, right? I showed you last time about all the capitals here, right? Look at the capital here, right? In the southwest. So mostly just desert, okay? And cultivating means growing crops, raising livestock, very difficult. You know, Africans, especially in this area, the cattle look like sheep. 牛和羊差不多大, okay? Not very big, okay? Not the cattle we think. The cattle is, you know, usually is white color and very fit. I would say very fit. 看起来非常怎么样？这个叫什么 ？fit 中文怎么讲？不是强壮，就是很健康，不是很健康，很身材刚好。没有多余的肥肉 ，okay, that's African cattle, okay, and now precarious. What do you mean by precarious? Business. It's like if you want to grow, have cattle in Zimbabwe, the weather, the land is good. But if you want to, it's almost like in Taiwan. If you want to grow vegetable in the lowland area, God bless you. If you don't have a typhoon, you're doing fine. But if you have a typhoon, you know, everything is, you know, being swamped by water. So that's precarious. What do we mean by precarious? Risky, dangerous, okay, business. So if you are in desert, why do you want to raise livestock? You know, you don't even have a lot of pastures for them to, you know, to have the grass. So that's, and then this is different, okay. In the past, the government accused international community of creating the famine. But this time they said, hey, maybe 27 million people, or 1/5 of the population, will have food shortage because of poor rains, okay. Poor rains is always a problem in sub-Saharan Africa. We know this desert has grown, you know. It's, a desert can grow as well. 沙漠也会长啊，不是只有我们人会长，沙漠也会长大。Okay, so desert also grow. No need for statistics to appreciate how poor Niger is. Okay, statistics, very important word. Statistical, and because my brother is someone who do statistics, how do we call those people? Statistician. Okay, so remember how to pronounce. Okay, statistics. Okay, statistical statistician. My brother is a biostatistician. Okay, what is a biostatistician? 生物统计学家. So we have argument because he worked for pharmaceutical company. Okay, he experiment with drugs, right? And I accuse his company of you know, making a lot of money out of poor people. And he said, well, you don't know how expensive we have to do all this experiment. So that's biostatistics, working biostatistician, 生物统计学、生物统计学家 biostatistician. Did I spell it right? Statistician. Statistician, like this. Okay. So that's so how can we look at this? That's Yang Mingwen. Yeah. Okay. Look at some of this. Niger. When trucks into potholes. Tarmac, crumble. Okay, here, truck and other vehicle cross the border. Where is Benin? Benin is here. Wow, so this is just little line here. This green Benin, right? Benin here and into Niamey, because Niamey is here. So very close into Niger. So that road is supposed to be very important, but you can see the poverty right away because the road deteriorates into potholes. What is pothole? Yeah, just we just don't have that a lot here in Taiwan anymore. I miss those. Pothole, just you have hole in the middle of the road, and then so people just have to slow down because your car will hit the bottom will hit, right, if you drive too fast. And they never repair it. So I wonder whether all those garage have paid the government some money not to repair the road, so the car can break down and then they have business. 我不知道是不是修车厂有没有，就是说去贿赂政府说你不要修路，不修路这个车子一经过就会坏掉，坏了我们这旁边就有修车厂。Okay, I'm not sure. I think maybe and the pothole and then fall away the edges is like the, in Taiwan we have highway. You don't see those road just the edges disappear. You just fall down. Okay. People will ask me like which side of the road is this country driving? I would say depending on the condition of the road. Right? In Taiwan, we drive on the right side of the road. In Japan, you drive on the left side. In some African country, you drive on the better side of the road. Okay? So that's how you decide. Right. So the road is the main artery. What is artery, Miss Yang? Artery. 脉动，大脉也是心脏的，这什么大动脉啊 ？Okay, from the capital down to the port of Cotonou in Benin. Cotonou here. Benin had this little port city. So hey, this is an inland landlocked country. So everything export have to go here. Okay, that's the closest. And so you would think the road will be very well, but not. The money has not been found to repair it. Crawl along at a snail pace. Oh, you said people here are very law-abiding. They don't drive, they don't speed. There is no speeding. You cannot speed. Okay, so sometimes it's not. You have too many cars. But if you fix the road, everything will be fine. But because of the pothole, everyone in Africa having a car, sometimes you have some really expensive BMW or Benz, Mercedes. Do you want it to hit the button? No. So very slow, very slow. Everybody is slow. Okay, snail pace, right? So often hugely overcrowded. They sometimes tip over because the tarmac, the road just soften 就变成黑森林蛋糕了。Collapse, crumble into the sand. That's the big. Let's finish this one real fast. 杨嘉欣有在吗？不在。最后一位陈云清也不在。在啊。Okay. Yeah, real finish. Let's finish this one. Okay, do you think sometimes we can have good things come out of the coup? If that's the condition, the road situation, the economy, and everything so bad, hey, can be worse, right? So maybe by having someone else, maybe his zodiac sign is in agreement with Niger. 或许他们八字合了跟这个尼日的这个国家跟命运跟那个军人刚好合，说不定会进步。Can be worse, right? It's already at the bottom. So you have to do only little things to improve your country. You say, hey, we moved from 178 to 174. That's already, wow, what a record, right? You're climbing up 4 spaces. So it's very difficult country. So military coup happened. That context, you have to remember. Is it for greed? Maybe, because there is still uranium. But maybe just for the love of the country. Okay? They just want to rescue the country from total collapse. Okay, so that's the article, essay you have to write. It's about the coup. Can coup be good? Okay, so next week we'll finish 2 pages, double space, 14 font size. Yeah, but if you finish, you can give it to me. Fine. So think of whether there's a good one.